What's poppin', y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game. Man, you already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on which route you choose to take. Now, as I always say, you get two choices: the ability to faithfully settle in the life that has been set out for you, or the ability to pave a path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. And even the ones behind the scenes, I see y'all too. So look, the title of this video is going to go to all my divine feminines, right? I feel as if a lot of times we lead our life with our heart. Now, again, it's nothing wrong with that, but you have to understand there's two sides to yourself. So you have to also make sure you put logic with that too. And the reason why I say that is because now we're in a crucial part of life where I feel as if some people are growing and advancing ahead of others because some people are still stagnant, right? So a lot of the people that are still stuck are facing intense karma, you know what I'm saying? Intense repercussions for the things that they continue to indulge in, right? And because that's the case, spiritually, when they feel like they have any type of attachment to you, you know what I'm saying, what they'll try to do is come back in so that you can be able to save them from the karma that they're going through. You know what I'm saying? And again, everybody's different. Everybody's life is different. But personally, I feel as if don't be so quick to forgive. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of people are skilled at being able to get you to forgive them so that they can repeat the same behavior. You know what I'm saying? They just feel as if under your protection that the consequences wouldn't be as swift. You know what I'm saying? So they would never have to pay for the wrong that they've done. So personally, I feel as if now would be the time to put yourself into perspective and understand that when they were doing you wrong, when they were planning on your demise, you know what I'm saying? When they were gossiping about you behind other people's back, they didn't have any remorse. They didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Because they had intentions on making sure that you never outgrew the box that they had set out for you. So when you finally get to a point where you break outside the box and they have to deal with their karma, now it's almost as if they're asking for your help. They're asking for your forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? And the problem with that is if you give it to them too soon, you know what I'm saying, they're not going to be able to learn the lesson. You get me? Like, I know a lot of people have been through things in life where, you know what I'm saying, you experience them, you go through them once or twice, you know what I'm saying, and you never really learn. Like, you just be like, okay, something bad happened, I'm going to just move on to the next person and do the same thing over. You know what I'm saying? So you never really learn the lesson. It is not until you're forced to have to actually look at your own life and understand that what you were doing and your effects and what it's doing and what it's causing in your life for you to actually get to a point where you want to make a choice on if you want to stop or continue to keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And that takes you not saving them. You cannot, you know what I'm saying, save anyone. So personally, I feel as if like everybody deserves a chance because we only human, you know what I'm saying? But again, timing will tell, and your intuition will let you know what's right and what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I feel as if truly you really are wanting for someone to grow and change, sometimes you have to allow them to be able to deal with the consequences of the things that they have been putting people through. Because again, a lot of people are locked into a certain mindset. You know what I'm saying? It's a repeated cycle. They don't feel no remorse. They don't want to change. They just know that if they keep going on a certain path, the consequences that are going to keep coming. And again, karma is a very real thing, especially currently right now. You can keep thinking that your repeated cycle of moving the way you've been moving in life is right, but it doesn't cause no harm or effect until you have to deal with the consequences. And again, sometimes people don't even get hurt when that happens. they just feel as if now, okay, I'm in a place where I have to make a change. If I don't want to have to deal with the kickback of the choices and maybe who I become, now would be the time to change. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm telling you right now, that karma vicious. How I know is because I've experienced it in my own life. You know what I'm saying? I had a segment in my life where, like, in a short period of time, all the things I was doing was tested in my life, and I seen the effect on if I did it or didn't do it, and the results I got from not engaging was very sufficient to my life. So I was like, listen, I'm done, I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? Because I want that result instead of the result I would get if I continue to keep going down that same path. You feel me? Because it's not a soft pat, it's very brutal. You know what I'm saying? And the consequences get more intense every time you never learn the lesson and you go out and do the same thing over. So listen, understanding and realizing that, again, it's your choice on forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? But I feel as if you really decide to do that, make sure that person is standing on their word and they standing on the change that they need to make. Because again, I'm telling you, I've been brought up in an era where people don't change. What they do is go so long and make it seem as if you forgot the behavior. You know what I'm saying? And then they come back in and do the very same thing that they've always been doing the whole entire time. You know what I'm saying? So again, it takes time for them to actually be able to look at their life circumstances and be able to make an effective change. But without that, with you coming in too soon and trying to save them and feeling bad for them, don't do that. You feel me? You couldn't afford to be a sucker in your own shit, so don't be a sucker in somebody else's shit. Because again, like I said, they didn't have no remorse when it came to you. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have no forgiveness. They didn't care about what you was going through. You know what I'm saying? They didn't care about none of that. All they wanted to make sure was that your demise, you feel me, happened. You feel me? Under their influence. You feel me? That's all they care about. They didn't care about nothing else. So now that it's getting to a point where you being able to trust and believe and succeed in whatever it is you're doing or seeing the progress, now they feeling some type of way. So they want to come back in. But again, like I said, it's almost as if, you know what I'm saying, they feel embarrassed because of the things they said, how they hurt you, how they crumbled you, how they wanted you to feel so low. So you got to really understand that the importance behind that is actually really, truly being able to get to a point where you allow these people to go through whatever they're going through so that they can have a chance to experience in life how what they do affects their own life, not just other people's, but who you are as a person not only affects them, but it affects everybody around you, because it's an energetic field we live in right now. And speaking on that, I had a comment from a woman yesterday talking about, you know what I'm saying, it's all for self and da-da-da, and I replied back that a lot of the times, being so engulfed in your own trauma, you take your pain and you express it on everybody, even innocent people, because you're so stuck in your ways of who you are that you don't realize that energy that you're projecting onto people has nothing to do with that person, but it's yours. And so you instantly inject that energy into someone else and see their life go on a downward spiral because you think that you only have to be concerned with you, when energy is universal. You know what I'm saying? It's connected to everyone as well as making you connected to the world. So if you go into the world thinking it's all about you and what you went through, you don't even realize subconsciously how many people are hurting in the world, and they take their pain and they project it onto innocent souls, people that have nothing to do with their pain. And now you start to see how that person's life starts to turn out a certain way that theirs did, because it's all about them, right? And a lot of people don't have the boundaries to separate themselves from people that are toxic, especially if they love them or care about them. You know what I'm saying? They think that whatever they're doing is the correct way to live, not realizing, you know, that person could be poisoning your mind, could be poisoning your existence, poisoning who you are. You know what I'm saying? So again, having boundaries in this life is something that wasn't taught to us. Nobody knew how to have them. And the ones that did, we weren't around them. You feel me? So creating them and having them, it brings an understanding. But I've also, listen, it's always some negative person underneath every comment I make talking the opposite of what I say. Like, it's just not right for me to have an opinion. It is. I don't think like the average person. My life is not negative. You feel me? I'm still alive and breathing, meaning I have the right to change it. If I want to keep navigating my life based off of something that happened to me in the past, you're bringing that negative energy into the world. And after I done gave them 2 comments of who I really am, and you feel me, how I think, they don't comment no more. Yeah, you are entitled to your own opinion, but go up under the comment and make it your own. Don't reply to me like, you feel me, you offended by me saying what I'm trying to say, because again, what I'm saying is the truth. If you woke up today and you had the ability to live life, why not transform that into the positive years you could have for yourself instead of focusing so much on the negative? Because I've been raised around it. I've seen it for 75 years, how things unhealed can make a person so miserable that you basically kill your own self. You know what I'm saying? Slowly but surely. You know? That pain has to be healed. You have to figure out a way to heal it, you know? So again, a lot of what I learned in life is basically going through it and experiencing it and then changing on my own. It wasn't because of the whoopings. It wasn't because of somebody telling me, hey, you need to get it together. It wasn't none of that. Because trust me, if I was going to do something, I was going to still keep doing it, no matter if you told me not to do it. You know what I'm saying? And it, personally, I just feel like everybody hated on every aspect of my life. It was almost as if I couldn't be happy doing nothing, because everybody had something negative to say about every motherfucking thing. It was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to just go off on my own and do my own thing then, because you just negative Nancy all the time. You know what I'm saying? And then the people that hit it a lot, we wasn't having fun unless we was under the influence. And half of the time I wasn't enjoying that, because I'm like, listen, I'm not into this, but I'm into it because y'all into it. You know what I'm saying? So again, I feel as if the only way for a person to really learn how to stop doing something and how what they're doing affects not just them but everybody around them is to allow them to go through it until they get tired of bumping their head. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you come in too soon, allowing and forgiving too soon. They're going to act as if that's their ticket to get away from their karma. You know what I'm saying? And they won't change. Their mental state will stay the same. Because what they'll do is figure out a way to come in with the most charming way of playing on your mental state, only to be the same person that they've been the whole entire time. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm telling you, the world we live in these days, you got to become smart emotionally, which means you got to have a balance of emotion and logic, because people are really skilled at knowing how to come in with the smoothest things to say by basically just learning, but still very dark. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to change because no one has allowed them enough time to be able to deal with the consequences to change. So in their mind, you know what I'm saying, they feel as if they don't got to change. They can get away with still being the same person, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So again, I just was watching something where I seen, like, I have a very big heart. And I do believe in forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like I said, when I love hard. But you also got to know the difference between, you feel me, someone that's playing on you and trying to get your forgiveness to come in to make their prophecy stay alive, and someone that really is coming in to, you know what I'm saying, want to be forgiven. Because you only get one shot at life. But at the same time, I be feeling like, listen, all this time has passed. No one has took the initiative. It's almost as like that's clear as day. That's showing you exactly what's going on. People don't want to change. They don't plan on changing. A lot of them are dark feminines and dark masculines, you feel me, who want to stay in that life. You feel me? Living that life because they've gotten so comfortable. But I'm here to let you know, listen, I've done that. I tried to stay over there with y'all. It wasn't working. So how about I pull myself out, and now y'all have to deal with the consequences of what y'all go through. And it's either going to wake you up or you're going to still stay asleep. But imagine you staying asleep is affecting you, your children, your family, and everybody else around you. Simply because you don't know how to pull yourself out of the fire. Because you are so dependent on loving and caring about people so much. Listen, I'm telling you, it's a balance of emotion and logic. realize and understand and love will get you killed. You got to get to a point where, listen, we all on the same page or we not. What's really going on here? You know what I'm saying? But growth is up to each individual person. You know what I'm saying? And just be very mindful. And don't feel sorry for yourself when you got to do what you got to do to sustain your mental state. Because when it was them and they were trying to make sure you didn't survive, they didn't care about you. They didn't care what you was going through. They didn't help you. They didn't extend the olive branch. They threw salt on your name, pushed you under the bus, you know what I'm saying, hoping that you wouldn't survive. And when you came out still breathing on top and surviving, they feel stupid. And that's the part they don't want to put up with. Because, again, a lot of people who are adamant on who they are don't like to feel stupid. You know what I'm saying? So they'll do whatever they can to try to repair that patch, especially amongst the people that they try to down talk you to. You know what I'm saying? So listen, be wise and be mindful. Forgiveness can be forgiven, you know what I'm saying? But I feel as if it's in timing. It's not when you want it to happen. You got to just sit back and live your life, you know what I'm saying, and let the universe work. Because, again, like I said, a hard head make a soft ass, and that's a very true fact. And if you allow someone in too soon, the era we live in, people don't want to be acting as if they learned their lesson. They just want to come in and try to destroy you more by allowing you to have access to them. So listen, don't double back. Allow the universe to do what it does. Everybody needs a chance, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes people can be forgiven, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like now is the era now where that can happen. But at the same time, don't be stupid, you know? Because nobody had your back, especially me. Nobody had my back when I was going through the transformation, you know what I'm saying? It was only beneficial for them. You got to think, a lot of people only help you when it's beneficial for them. But when you elevate your energy and they can no longer siphon off of that, they step back with all the help. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, that gives you an understanding of they was never for you. They was just for the need of you. You know what I'm saying? And then some people disappear with no intention of ever coming back. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be a part of what you got going on. You feel me? They don't want to grow. They don't want to improve. You know what I'm saying? They're perfectly okay with the way they live life. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? For you. Not for me, though. So, it is what it is. Listen, so if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.